Hey and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's begin with our daily news. Arteta and Edu stunned by 22-year-old Arsenal player. They are scared he could leave now. Arsenal are reportedly shocked by William Saliba's demands to sign a new contract and are worried he could now be lured away by PSG. The Frenchman joined the Gunners when he was a teenager back in 2019, but it was only the start of the 22-23 campaign that he was given an opportunity in the Premier League. Saliba was absolutely phenomenal and made a name as one of the best defenders in the country. Arsenal are desperate to tie him down to a new deal now, but the Sun has shared some worrying news for Gunners. William Saliba is arguably the best centre-back of his age in the world. The 22-year-old was absolutely outstanding for Arsenal from the first game of the season until he got injured. Arsenal's title charge collapsed in his absence, which made everyone find out just how important he is to the side. Saliba's agents probably noticed this as well, and that's why they are making things difficult for Arsenal during contract negotiations. The report claims that Edu and Mikel Arteta were left shocked by Saliba's wage demands to pen a new deal. Arsenal's initial £120,000 a week offer is apparently not even close to what the players' representatives have in mind, which is why a deal is far from being done. To make things worse, French champions PSG are interested in signing Saliba, and Arsenal fear they could lure him away by paying him whatever it takes. Arsenal simply cannot afford to lose Saliba. The Frenchman, despite his injury, is a strong contender to win the club's Player of the Year award. He was the best centre half in the country when he was fit, and the fact that he is still only 22 means he will only get better in the coming years. Arsenal have just extended the contracts of Gabriel Martinelli, Ramsdale, and Bukayo Saka. Saliba is next in line, and we are sure Edu will be doing everything he can to get this done as well. However, as things stand, it will not be easy, and PSG's interest just makes things a lot harder. BBC Pundit admitted 24-year-old Arsenal player has been absolutely exceptional this season. Pundit Stephen Kelly has admitted Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard has had a brilliant season. Speaking on the Football Daily podcast, Kelly praised the Gunners' star despite his connections to rivals Tottenham Hotspur. The panel were handing out their end-of-season awards as the Premier League season finally came to an end, and surprisingly, several Arsenal players were in the conversation. Erling Haaland was eventually named Player of the Season, but Martin Odegaard was in the conversation. The Norwegian playmaker has been instrumental in Arsenal's success this season. His 15 goals and 7 assists in the league alone were a big contributing factor to Arsenal's title charge. Not only that, but he demonstrated his leadership qualities throughout the campaign. Kelly nominated Odegaard as one of the players of the season after guiding Arsenal back to the Champions League. He will ultimately be disappointed not to have won the Premier League after leading Manchester City for so long. However, he will also recognize that Mikel Arteta is building something special at the Emirates right now. Asked to nominate someone for the Player of the Season award, Kelly said, "Honestly, as much as it pains me with Arsenal, I think Martin Odegaard has been exceptional. I think the way he has driven the team, they are so young, and for him to step up and hold the mantle the way he did, I think it's a superb season from him." Odegaard's performances for Arsenal this season have now attracted interest from abroad. Paris Saint-Germain are reportedly considering a bid for the Norwegian this summer. It would take a monumental bid for Arsenal to consider selling one of their best players at this stage. Mikel Arteta could feasibly build his team around Odegaard for years to come and will be desperate for him to sign a new deal. The 24-year-old has admitted he can continue to improve going forward. That attitude will impress Arsenal and hopefully rub off on his teammates. The future at the Emirates is bright with Odegaard leading the side, and the club need to do everything possible to make sure he doesn't leave. Arsenal eyeing one of the most promising young players in Europe. Arsenal have reportedly set their sights on Leeds United Wilfried Gnonto. This is according to Calciomercato via Sport Witness, who claim the Gunners are following his situation closely. As well as Arsenal, several big Serie A sides are apparently looking to snap Gnonto up from Leeds this summer. Arsenal are currently looking to bolster their ranks ahead of their return to Champions League action next term. The Gunners will also hope to put together a squad that can go all the way in the Premier League title race. Meanwhile, Leeds are reeling from their last day relegation and dropped to the Championship for next day. Gnonto has been one of the few bright spots in a dismal season at Ellen Road. The 19-year-old joined Leeds last season from Zurich for a reported fee of just over £4 million. However, the likes of Arsenal will probably have to pay several times that fee if they want Gnonto this summer. According to Gazzetta dello Sport, via Team Talk, Leeds want at least £26 million for the Italian, and that would be the minimum amount. As per the report, ideally, they could even earn up to €40 million. Gnonto is a top talent who has proven his class at Premier League and international level. At just 19 years of age, he could become a superstar. Indeed, Spanish outlet Sport via Leeds Live recently named him at number 17 on a list of the 20 most promising young players in Europe. Even at the higher end of how much Leeds want for Gnonto, he'd be a bargain, and Arsenal should certainly make their move. Competition for Gnonto is likely to be fierce, but the Gunners should be able to outmuscle their rival suitors in Serie A. At the same time, the player seemingly feels he has unfinished business in Italy. He is yet to make a competitive appearance in the Italian game. Unfortunately for Arsenal, a move back to his home nation may well appeal more than staying in the Premier League. Arsenal could now sign one of the best finishers in Europe instead of Rafinha, says a journalist. Arsenal have once again been linked with a move to sign Moussa Diaby this summer, a player who plays in the same position as Rafinha, who the Gunners tried to sign last year. Mikel Arteta's side finished the season as runners-up in the Premier League. The way their title charge collapsed was disappointing, but this young Arsenal side deserves immense praise for going toe-to-toe with Manchester City for most of the campaign. Now, the focus is on the summer transfer window, and Arsenal have been linked with a number of top-quality players. Bayer Leverkusen star Moussa Diaby is one of them. Arsenal's priority this summer is a new midfielder, while reinforcement at right back and centre half are also a necessity ahead of the start of the new season. That, however, is not enough. The Gunners would consider signing a new right winger too as a backup to Bukayo Saka. Rafinha was the man they tried to bring in last summer, but the Brazilian went and joined Barcelona instead. However, numerous rumors over the last few months have claimed that Arsenal retain an interest in Rafinha, and a move is a possibility this summer. The Barcelona star, however, put an end to all the speculation on Instagram, hitting back at fake news, claiming he could leave the Camp Nou before the start of next season. Arsenal still need a new right winger this summer, and with Rafinha out of the picture, Darmstadt says Moussa Diaby could be the one on their list. He told Give Me Sport, "Yes, I think so. Diaby will be a target for English clubs. With regards to Arsenal specifically, we know that the right-sided forward position was a priority area in January and last summer. Remember, they tried to sign Rafinha. They tried to not necessarily sign, but there was definite interest in Moussa Diaby. I would expect that interest to still be there come the summer, but look, he will have other suitors as well." Moussa Diaby has been an incredible player in the Bundesliga for a few years now. He has managed at least 10 goals and 10 assists in each of the last 3 seasons for Bayer Leverkusen in all competitions. And it's no surprise he is a wanted man. Diaby, who has been branded as one of the best finishers in Europe, will enter the final 2 years of his contract this summer, and this is the right time for Leverkusen to sell him and make big money off his sale. The Frenchman would be fantastic for Arsenal, even better than Rafinha in our opinion, but whether the Gunners will splash big cash on him in the coming weeks remains to be seen. Arsenal now told to sign an incredible 26-year-old on a free transfer this summer. Kevin Campbell has recommended that Arsenal do now make a move for Yuri Tielemans at long last this summer as the Gunners look to make the absolute most out of their transfer budget. Campbell was speaking on the Highbury Squad podcast about the work Arsenal need to do in the transfer window amid links with some eye-watering moves. Mikel Arteta's man enjoyed such an incredible year. However, squad depth appeared to hurt the Gunners as the campaign went on, and they now have a Champions League campaign to prepare for. One area they must strengthen in is the middle of the park. Of course, Arsenal have been linked with Declan Rice and Moses Caicedo, but signing either is likely to take a massive bite out of whatever budget they are working with. And with that, Kevin Campbell has suggested that targeting Yuri Tielemans could be a really shrewd piece of business. He said, there is still some box clever moves that we can make, free transfers, the likes of Tielemans, who is a free man. We can say, thank you Leicester for keeping him warm, we'll take him, because you know what, we need two 11s. We need two 11s where we dovetail, that is really important. Of course, many Arsenal fans will welcome an end to the links with Tielemans this summer, one way or another. The Belgian has been linked with the Gunners so many times in recent windows. There were even claims from the Sun last year that Tielemans was growing confident of sealing a move to the Emirates in the summer. Obviously, that move would not ultimately take place, and his stock has fallen considerably over the last couple of years. He has been much more disappointing for Leicester, who are now preparing for life in the Championship, but he has previously been incredible for the Foxes, and no fan will forget his stunning winner in the FA Cup final a few years ago. Signing him for nothing feels like a bit of a no-brainer if Arsenal plan to push the boat out on other targets. And after the year he has had, you would imagine that Tielemans would jump at the chance to join if the Gunners come calling. TalkSport Pundit urges £70 million player to snub league winners and join Arsenal. TalkSport Pundit Perry Groves has suggested that West Ham star Declan Rice should join Arsenal over Bayern München this summer. Mikel Arteta's men have widely been viewed as the front-runners to sign Rice ahead of the summer. Arsenal have been heavily linked with a move for the 24-year-old, and Fabrizio Romano named them as the favourites to land him just last week. But Bayern München's recent interest has thrown a spanner in the works. Indeed, Sky Sports Germany's Uli Kohler claimed just yesterday that the West Ham star has spoken to Thomas Tuchel over the phone. The Bundesliga champions believe they can afford a deal to bring Rice to Germany over the summer. Yet, Perry Groves has urged Rice to sign for Arsenal as he feels the midfielder would be a good fit for Mikel Arteta's side. Speaking on TalkSport, Groves suggested that Rice wouldn't be walking into an ideal situation at Bayern due to the recent turmoil of the pitch. He said, Arsenal would suit him because of the way and style Arteta has got them playing at the moment. If he went to Bayern München, I totally understand it, because they are a massive club and they have won 11 Bundesliga on the trot. But I think there is a bit of turmoil around Bayern München as well of the pitch. Oliver Kahn's been given the sack as the CEO. Also, if you went to Bayern München and you have got the turmoil, I'd be saying look at Sadio Mane. It didn't work out for him at all. Just a little bit in the back of my mind was thinking if you were a massive signing, Declan Rice is 90 to 100 million pound. You go there as a big signing and it's the 12th season that Bayern don't win the title. Who gets the blame? The massive signing. It would be a massive blow for Arsenal if Rice was to make the switch to München this summer. Arteta's men have been lining up a move for the England star for months, but Bayern seem to be pressing ahead with their attempts to land him. Nevertheless, You get the feeling that Rice may prefer to stay in England during the earlier stages of his career. He is attracting interest from the likes of Manchester United and Chelsea as well as Arsenal, so the £70 million man should get the pick of the bunch this summer. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.